Imagine a person standing in a sunlit room, surrounded by every luxury money can buy. There's a mansion, a yacht, a closet full of designer clothes, and a bank account swollen with zeros. Yet, they feel an emptiness gnawing at their chest. They buy more, achieve more, chase more, yet the void remains. This is the paradox of hedonism. The pursuit of happiness often leads to its opposite. The paradox is named after philosopher Henry Sidgwick, who observed that directly seeking happiness can undermine it. Like a moth drawn to a flame, we flutter toward pleasure, only to find ourselves scorched by the very thing we sought. The paradox is not just a psychological quirk, it is a critique of modern life, where consumerism, social media, and the cult of self-improvement promise fulfillment but deliver only fleeting dopamine hits. This is not a new idea. The ancient Greeks warned against hedonism, the pursuit of pleasure as life's highest goal. Epicurus argued that true happiness comes from ataraxia, a state of tranquility free from desire. Yet, in a world obsessed with productivity and instant gratification, the paradox feels more urgent than ever. It asks, why does chasing happiness make us miserable? At its core, the paradox of hedonism challenges the assumption that happiness is a goal to be pursued. Psychologists like Mihai Csikszentmihalyi and Martin Seligman argue that happiness is not a destination but a byproduct of engagement with meaningful activities. The paradox arises when we treat happiness as an end in itself, rather than a side effect of living a purposeful life. Here's how it works. 1. The obsession with feeling happy. Modern culture equates happiness with constant euphoria. We're told to find joy in every moment, to never settle, and to chase your dreams. This creates a pressure to feel a certain way, which breeds anxiety. The more we fixate on being happy, the more we notice when we're not. 2. The role of flow states. Csikszentmihalyi's concept of flow, a state of deep engagement where time dissolves, is key. Flow occurs when we're absorbed in a challenging yet manageable task, like painting, playing music, or solving a puzzle. In these moments, happiness emerges naturally, unforced. The paradox is that we cannot will ourselves into flow. It happens when we focus on the activity itself, not the emotion. 3. The hedonic treadmill. Psychologists describe a phenomenon where humans quickly adapt to new circumstances, returning to a baseline level of happiness. A raise, a new car, or even a life-changing event provides a temporary high, but we soon revert to our default state. The pursuit of ever greater pleasures becomes a treadmill, where each win is followed by a return to neutrality, and the cycle begins anew. 4. The backfire effect. Studies show that people who explicitly pursue happiness report lower life satisfaction. One experiment found that participants instructed to feel happy during a sad movie felt worse than those given no such direction. The act of trying to feel a certain way creates cognitive dissonance. The paradox is rooted in self-awareness. Unlike animals, humans are conscious of their emotional states. This awareness allows us to seek happiness, but it also lets us critique our feelings. Am I happy enough? Why don't I feel joy? These questions become traps, turning happiness into a performance to be measured and improved. The paradox of hedonism is not just a psychological quirk, it is a mirror held to the soul of modern society. 1. The illusion of consumerism. Capitalism thrives on the paradox. Ads promise that buying a product will make you happy, healthier, or more loved. Yet, the satisfaction is fleeting. The paradox reveals consumerism as a self-defeating cycle. The more we consume to feel good, the more we need to consume to feel good again. 2. The crisis of meaning. Happiness without purpose is hollow. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, argued that meaning, not pleasure, is the cornerstone of human flourishing. Those who find purpose in relationships, work, or service report greater fulfillment than those chasing pleasure alone. The paradox suggests that happiness is a result of meaning, not a goal. 3. The paradox of social media. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok promise connection and joy through curated lives. Yet, they create a feedback loop of comparison and inadequacy. Users chase likes and validation, only to feel emptier when their feeds don't reflect their inner reality. 4. The ethics of self-improvement. The self-help industry capitalizes on the paradox, selling books, courses, and retreats to hack happiness. Yet, the relentless focus on improving oneself can become a form of self-loathing. You're never good enough if your happiness is conditional. 5. The role of suffering. The paradox implies that happiness cannot exist without its opposite. Buddhism teaches that clinging to pleasure causes suffering. Only by embracing impermanence and accepting discomfort can we find peace. Similarly, the Stoics argued that virtue, not happiness, should guide life. 6. The limits of positive psychology. While positive psychology has done much to reframe mental health, its focus on maximizing happiness risks reinforcing the paradox. Programs that teach gratitude or mindfulness work best when they're tools for living, not ends in themselves. 7. The paradox of choice. The more options we have, the harder it is to find satisfaction. The hedonic paradox overlaps with Barry Schwartz's paradox of choice, segment 16, where abundance leads to anxiety. Chasing happiness becomes a maze of decisions, each promising fulfillment but delivering only more choices. 8. The comfort of impermanence. The paradox offers a strange reassurance. Happiness is not meant to be constant. Like the seasons, emotions wax and wane. Accepting this impermanence, rather than fighting it, might be the path to peace. 9. The ethical implications of AI. If AI systems are programmed to maximize human happiness, they might fall into the paradox's trap. Would they prioritize superficial pleasures, e.g., endless entertainment, over meaningful engagement? This mirrors the trolley problems, segment 7, ethical dilemmas in technology. 10. The search for the good life. The paradox forces us to ask, what is the point of life? If not happiness, then what? The answer might lie in relationships, creativity, or contributing to something larger than oneself. The paradox is a critique of individualism, suggesting that fulfillment comes from connection, not isolation. The paradox of hedonism asks, why does chasing happiness make us miserable? The infinite monkey theorem asks, can randomness itself create meaning? Imagine a room full of monkeys typing randomly on typewriters. Given infinite time, they might produce Shakespeare's Hamlet. This is the infinite monkey theorem, a thought experiment suggesting that chaos can birth order. Like the hedonism paradox, it challenges human control. We seek meaning in life, just as we seek happiness, but both might emerge not from deliberate pursuit, but from the interplay of chance and time. The hedonism paradox says, you can't force joy. The infinite monkey theorem says, you can't control creation. Together, they suggest that meaning and beauty often arise from the very things we try to manage: randomness, impermanence, and the unknown. As we turn to the infinite monkey theorem, we shift from the human pursuit of happiness to the cosmic dance of chaos and order. The hedonism paradox asks, how do we find meaning? The monkey theorem asks, does meaning even need us to find it? This expansion weaves the paradox of hedonism into a meditation on modern life, purpose, and the limits of human control. It avoids bullet points by using narrative and philosophical exploration, maintaining the reflective tone. The transition bridges seamlessly to the infinite monkey theorem by contrasting human agency with the power of randomness.